All right. So actually, my journey began in the supplement industry, but when I was introduced to NRF2 technology, everything changed. I I I transitioned my focus from supplementation to activation. So I know some of you understand what I'm saying and what I'm trying to share here. So those first few years were the embodiment of a dream. Like I was earning well, an opportunity allowed me to travel across Europe, US, different places in Asia, and as I continued to grow, I focused to expand the market to provinces, stuff like that. So that's my goal. But however, everything shifted in an instant. Uh, One night, a corporate updated me that there's a visitor from the US. Okay, arriving from the US, going to the Philippines. So imagine, I was so excited that time. Maybe there's a good news, and they told me that I need to be in Makati. So without hesitation, I drove 12 hours just to get there. And imagine, as soon as I arrived at the hotel, I received a devastating news. HR informed me that the company would be closing in a month. So it was a heartbreaking moment. Uh, this wasn't just my job. I mean, this is not something to do with what I do, but this is my bread and butter. So it was the project that I dedicated my life and heart to. So the hardest part wasn't just to lose that kind of livelihood, but it was the weight of having brought so many people into the fold on the promise of a better future. So everything turned out to waste. In short, the door closed. Okay, so unexpected market exit, loss of primary income source, a community left searching for answers. But in the middle of this struggle, I chose not to be a victim. So what keeps me going? This one, the hunger as my compass. Okay, so I found myself at a zero ground, but the hunger for me, for a better life, was stronger than ever. So the thing is that here, I always see it, the situation to have so many reasons. Okay, so this is something that I always thought to myself, that if you start looking for problems, you start making them up, even if they're not there. So things like what I do is everything is for my family. So here, just to give you an idea, this is my deep why. So I want to be a responsible father and at the same time a devoted husband. Simple as that. So I don't know what's your deep why. Maybe you don't have one, but you could be the reason for some people. So it's a reminder that doing these things, you have to understand your deep why. Some have their success because they tend to accept the challenge of having those things to get everything for the deep why, and same as me. Okay, so by then, this is something that keeps me going. I decide. So according to Ralph, once you make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen. Do you believe in that? So the moment you decide, whatever you declare, everything will, the universe will arrange for you. So having the decision to continue, because the product gives me hope for my health and for the opportunity. I know that this kind of product is something, or is going to be a big will create a bigger sales in 5 to 10 years from now. So our plan that time is to order the product even from the US, because we build a lot of users here in the Philippines. But you know what? As we decide again, as I've said earlier, that the universe will conspire. And I would like to acknowledge our angel, okay? The one who connected us here in ACTIVZ, okay, page gimbal, and we connected to our beloved um, 001 here in Philippines. Okay, so because of that, everything started for a reason. So what we did is to make a preparation. So here are the things that you could check if you're new here in ACTIVZ. So I started to explore. Of course, we need to study things like what are the product, the company, the compensation, and everything. And as we examine, imagine, little that we know that the product that introduces me years ago is just the prototype product of our scientists. So with that, a goosebumps came immediately to me that there's a bigger opportunity waiting for us, right? So it's like for the previous company, I tend to imagine that it's a preparation for us to be here. Once we are here, we are already, driven to keep it moving forward more. Okay, so by then, we tend to analyze what to be brought here. So we tend to understand what came as successful on the previous company. What did we do well, and what do we need to change? Because there are things that we learned a lot from the previous experiences. Now, here's one thing that we are bringing in every single situation: excitement. Okay, can you shout it loud? Excitement. Okay, even you're alone in there, excitement, okay, is the key. Okay, let me share to you something. Imagine, we don't know anything much in this kind of product yet as we started, but did you know that we have a lot of distributors who enroll simply because of excitement? Excitement brought them here. Imagine that. They don't even know the product yet. They don't even know the compensation. We just give them excitement. And excitement, it's like a currency, right? Currency is like money is currency, energy is currency. So what you attract, is what you will become and what you will having into your table, right? So everything is energy. So if you have this kind of energy, you will attract everything: the money, okay, the people, and those excitement from them. You will getting it, okay, from them. Okay, so now here's the thing. For the past quite some time, the thing that I'm going to share to you, the word grit. Okay, something that if you want to get something, there's no reason for you not to get it. Okay, so it is something that it's in your inner core. Okay, your gut, okay, your resilience, okay, that initiative in you, okay, that tenacity. So grit is the combination of long-term passion and persistence. So imagine if you're having this something to wanted to get, okay, or to achieve here in ACTIVZ, you have to have this kind of grit, okay, perseverance of effort, okay, in terms of grinding, and consistency of interest. So that's the big difference of grit prior to excitement. Now, the thing is that you can check the way we check ourselves. Do you have the right attitude? Okay? Because a bad attitude is like a flat tire. If you don't change it, you won't go anywhere. Okay? I'll give you an example. For example, it's like you're driving, and then you went into traffic, right? There's two things that you can do. You get mad, okay? Okay? And you get mad, okay? So basically, there's two things that you can check on yourself: to be proactive or reactive. Reactive is a sense that you are reacting into the situation. But being proactive, imagine having you in the traffic for quite some time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, is an opportunity for you to listen for a training course or something. Listen to podcasts or something. Opportunity for you to maximize your time, right? I hope you can get me on that one, right? So to become proactive. So attitude is everything. Why? If you're going to check on this one, okay, what makes life 100%? If the numbers are equal to letters, imagine, okay, if knowledge is important, yes it is, but it's only 96%. Okay, hard work is also important, but it's only 98%. But if you're going to add up attitude, the total is 100%. So do you think it's a coincidence? For me, I consider it is a sign, right, that everything is attitude. Okay, so fix your attitude so you can go to the destination that you want. All right? Okay? Now, by then, going back to the story, as we decided to be part of ACTIVZ, we set a game plan. So for you to get something, just like what Claudia told earlier, we have to have a goal. Set the plan, long-term goal, short-term goal, right? So what we do usually is to set the pace of 90-day sprint. Okay? Steady, consistency, and continuous speed. Okay? That's the game plan. Now, in setting a goal, again, a goal without a plan is just a wish. Okay? You can set a goal, but definitely, okay, not all the time the goal will work. Okay? If the goal doesn't work, you can change the plan but not the goal. Okay? Always focus on the goal. Okay? Now, here, if you focus on your goal and vision, you start seeing every opportunity that comes your way. Right? Now, moving forward, I'll be sharing to you something that may help you achieving your goal. Here are the 4 steps toward achieving your goal. Okay? First things first, it must be in writing. Okay? People with clear written goals accomplish far more in a shorter period of time than people without them can ever imagine. Why? For example, if you're going to list a prospect, did you know that only, okay, approximately 5 people that you can only remember if you're going to think of it. But if you can write it down, I would say you can go as many as you can. Right? So if you're going to list down your prospect, it has to be written. If you're going to set a goal, it has to be written. It has to be visualized. It has to be seen. Okay? So that's the first thing that you have to do. It must be in writing. Okay? Second one, it has to be vividly imagined. So it is the act of mentally experiencing an outcome in advance, aligning your focus and emotions with the goal as if they were already achieved. Okay? Again, as you can imagine, that kid, okay, he already seeing his future. Okay? Begin with the end in mind. Right now, you have to see yourself, where are you going? What do you want to achieve? What do you have 5 years from now? You have to be on that moment. Okay? Let me share to you my first experience on achieving my first car. Okay? By the time I'm trying to get that car, I went to a car dealer. Okay? I sat down and I smell, I imagine everything, I hold it as if it is already mine. So by then, your energy, your body, okay, is bringing you're bringing your body to the future of your present. So by then, you will attract everything. And you know what? After that, as I drove going back home, every time I look outside the window, I saw every car that looks the same, that what I wanted. you will see what you wanted as you imagined. So that's how powerful our imagination is. Okay? So number 3, okay, ardently desire. The depth and persistence of the soul direction. It's a quite burning force that doesn't necessarily need to be loud to be powerful. You know, ardently desires is that like, you know, there's a story, a true story prior to a war before. A colony wanted to invade, okay, a country. Okay, they're only 500, but those people there are like more than, I would say, 50,000. You know what? If you are those 500, I don't think you can get that colony or that country with 50,000 people, right? But you know what did they do? They burned the bridge. They burned every boat they have. So it's like there's no going back. There's no turning back. Okay? So with having that said, you know what happened? Those 500 people, they conquer, okay, the country. Okay? So that is something that, you know, your desire on something that you want to get, to achieve. Okay? I always share this one, that every one of us, we can go to our destination. And I hope you agree with that. It's just that it depends on what kind of vehicle are you going to ride into, right? Coming from the Philippines, going to US, okay? If I'm going to ride a boat, I would say I will be there in a month, right? Okay? If I'm going to fly through airplane, more likely 24 hours. But I'm going to fly there with a jet plane, maybe half a day. So any kind of vehicle, I can go to the US. Okay? But it's in different time. So I would say that ACTIVZ is jet plane. Okay? This is the opportunity that you can ride ACTIVZ as your vehicle towards to your destination as fast as you can. Okay? Now, moving forward, number 4, it must be a commitment. A commitment is the point where you stop weighing your options and start burning the bridges behind you. And that's something that I'm sharing to you earlier. So with the commitment that you have, you know, the word whatever it takes. If you have this kind of, you know, attitude that whatever it takes, whatever you declare to yourself that you wanted to get, you should get it whatever it takes. Why? The moment you started to do that, you are creating a habit. Okay? So you are putting or you're injecting something in your mind that you are doing a routine. So having the commitment being your routine, that being said, you will be getting something here from time to time. Right? So with those 4 steps, as you started to get your goal, I'm sure you will get to where you wanted to be. Okay? Now, moving forward, here, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Not all successful people, you know, woke up and become great. Okay? They just started one step at a time. The hardest part is the first step, and the rest will follow. Right? So, again, let me encourage you, okay, that your gift is enough. Okay? Can you type that one? That your gift is enough. What is best for others may not be best for you. Okay? So, each one of us has this kind of uniqueness, right? So, don't tell yourself that you're not enough, that the other person is more, you know, more valuable than you. Okay? You are enough. Okay? Just say that to yourself. You are enough. And God gave you that gift for a purpose. So embrace it, develop it, and use it. Okay? And as we have always talking about this one, you just need to step out of your comfort zone and step into your courage zone. Okay? Step out of your comfort zone and step into your courage zone. Your gift is only found in your courage zone. Okay? So many people have doubt on stepping out of the comfort zone because obviously it's uncomfortable, right? Okay? Some people don't want to invite. Why? Because they are shy. Well, I have good news for you. Why don't you invite a shy person? So basically, it's two of you. Okay? So by then, you invite another two shy person, you're going to be four. So by then, there's no reason for you not to have a big organization in ACTIVZ, right? Okay? Just step into your courage zone. Now, whatever your whatever your hands finds to do it with all your might. Okay? So there is something in you that is given, and you need to, you need to use it. Okay? Not just for you, but for other people. Okay? Use the gift that is being given to you. Okay? And with that, doing this, not just to test the water, but jump into the water. Okay? Do this all in. Okay? So as I end, it is all His as you all in. Okay? So, thank you so much. I hope I added value to you. And thank you for having me here. And again, back to you, Stu.